once.
It's the green room, but it's empty, coach. All the food is gone.
Okay, Corey, obviously quite the ending to that one. Can you just walk us through what the last couple of minutes have been like since the fight?
I mean, I'm over it now. I'm not over it, but a coach of mine told me in college you got 5 minutes of salt. I had those 5 minutes. I jumped in the shower. Nothing we can do about it now. It's very upsetting, especially because I broke him. You can't say that I wasn't winning the fight and the clash happened. Yeah, it is what it is. I went out there and did exactly what I was supposed to do. Like I said I was going to do. I was going to go out there and dominate. He can't handle my wrestling, the ground and pound. And I was pacing myself, and I knew the 4th round it was going to be over. Like I told the coaches, like they're screaming, "Go, go, go!" And I just felt like I had my head to his chest, and I can hear him like gargling for air, and I knew like 4th round to take him down and finish him then. But there's a good sport in me. I saved him myself. I hit the head. Well, I felt the heads hit, and the ref was like, "Keep going, keep going." And I said, I headbutted him, and that's why they stopped it. So if I wouldn't have said nothing, 3 seconds would have been over, and I'd be the champ. But the good sport in me, it is what it is.
Can you just talk a little bit about that final sequence? Obviously, you were grappling. He was trying to, make adjustments and try to improve his position. And do you feel like it was just one of those freak incidents to happen in the cage?
Yeah, I mean, he had the underhook, and if I would have stuck to the game plan, just weathered the storm, and then came in the 4th round and just did the same thing, it would have went different. But the coach was like, "Let's go, open up, open up." So I was gonna try to finish by blowing his lungs as much as I can in the 3rd, where in the 3rd or in the 4th, he would come out and just quit for me. He would just fall down. So, I mean, things happen, I got a little over aggressive, I guess you can say, or things just freak accidents. It happens. It's a fight game.
Most would figure now the next move, Bellator rebooks it, same thing, $1 million, the title, everything else on the line. I mean, how soon do you want to try to make that happen?
I mean, I would like to go as soon as possible, but we're in the medical tent next to each other, and the cut, he got to get plastic surgery for that, and the other than the cut, I guess I crushed his orbital, so he's going to be out for a while on that as well. So I'm pretty sure he's going to try to push the fight back as long as he can, maybe even to 2023, which I hope not. But as soon as possible, I would like to get it over with, so I can move on, get this money, and go back to living my life with my family and not in training camp for a year straight like I have been.
Is it safe to say you are not going to entertain any other option until you're able to settle this and get essentially, that fight with everything that was going to come along with it?
Not unless they turn around and say, "All right, you the champ, here's the belt, here's $1 million, let's move on." Until that happens, I know I'm the champ. You guys can't say anything else. I don't care what the casuals say. I don't care what the media say. We saw the accidental headbutt, but you guys saw the 15 minutes. You saw what happened. 1st round, yeah, it was a lot closer. But 2nd and 3rd, you can't tell me there was no way he was going to score that towards him. I am the champ.
To say it simply, Corey, we talked about it. You've got wins over the UFC champions.
And now I got the Bellator champ too.
Do you feel you're the best light heavyweight in the world as we sit here?
I've been saying it for years. So what you mean? It ain't going to change my mind. My mind don't change. I am the best. I've said it. I believe it. And I know it. Now I really know it. I just went out there and dominated. I didn't just beat him. I broke him. The guy, they said it's untouchable. It's on untouchable run. Nobody's ever touched him since he got into the Bellator cage. Can he go out there and make it 9 or 10, however it was? The answer is no.
Thank you.
I know there's a language barrier between you and your opponent, but was there any words exchanged after between you guys or his coaches or anything?
The only thing, like I said, the only thing that was upsetting to me was one of his coaches was saying, "You didn't win. Accidental headbutt, like the fight was close, whatever." Like, you know how this goes, man. But I told Nemkov at the end, like, "Yo, it's not your fault. Sugar's at fair." At first, I was a poor sport about it. I threw the bottle. I turned around. I didn't want to shake his hand, but I came back. I got my bearings back. Like, that's not right. It's not his fault. It was an accidental headbutt. Keyword accident. So I shook his hand like a man and said, "We're gonna run it back. Let's go." But then one of his coaches came like, "You didn't win. And that made me angry.
Thank you.
Corey, you had your ups and downs in your career. Tonight, the biggest fight of your career, you looked more impressive than you ever have, in my opinion. Is there confidence to take away from that, even given this really disappointing result?
Why wouldn't it be? Of course. I just went out there and dominated the man. Nobody can touch in Bellator. I just went out there and schooled them. I mean, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. But everybody said, oh, you can't touch him. Corey's not going to come close to that $1 million check. Corey never come close to that Bellator title. I was out there and took it. I took it. But thanks to an accidental headbutt, I don't get to go home with it or the $1 million check. And it sucks. It don't just sucks for me, but it sucks for my family, you know, especially my wife. I know how much she invests in this. I can see her sitting in the crowd right now fighting back her tears. And I know it's going to be tough for both of us, but we're going to get over it because she's my biggest support and I support her. So we're going to make it through. We're going to come back next time. We're going to make sure it don't go to that accident.
Hey, Corey, I was curious if you could maybe look in the mirror and 16-year-old version of you, obviously, despite the result here, it's a bit not great, but again, you looked career best. What would you say to the 16-year-old version of yourself right now?
I mean, you don't know the 16-year-old version of myself. So the 16-year-old version of myself was a fat, lazy kid playing video games with no dreams of playing sports at all. So I would look at him and be like, wow, what the hell happened to you? But now I would just say, you know, if you just listen to what your coaches and everything told you your whole life, you work hard and believe, work hard and believe, work hard and believe. People say it all the time. And you think it's like, it's so cliche because they say you can be whatever you want to be. You work hard, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do it. Don't listen to the doubters. And I would tell them, like, get on the horse early. It took me till I was 19 or 20 before I really clicked into this mindset I have now. So if I could have did that at 16, I would have won a state champion in high school. I would have probably went D1. Who knows? I might have pursued the Olympics instead of fighting. So today, if I look back at my 16-year-old self a half a lifetime ago, I would say, get up off that couch, quit playing them video games, let's get to work.
Last one for me again, and we know how much you value your family and friends. Can you walk me through the immediate reaction that they had if you had a moment with them post-fight?
I mean, the biggest thing, like when we talked to the judge or the ref and everybody in the cage, I asked, like, is it no contest or what? And they said, no, it goes to the scorecard. It was halfway through the fight. So we knew, like, we dominated the last 2 rounds. So I look at my family, they celebrating. I hit my chest, my big brother, my wife is down there in tears, my mom in tears, because this is what we've been after forever. I jump up in the cage and I dance, you know, act a little out of character, whatever you want to call it, but I'm excited. And then to find out that, nope, it doesn't happen because there was 3 seconds left, I could see the emotion drain on their face. And I saw it hit my mom when I threw my bottle because she knew something was wrong. When I threw the water bottle, I saw my mom's face go from, ah, and she started crying. I could see because we've worked for this. She know how much I put into it, how much I sacrificed from the family. I moved from home and told them I'm not coming home until I'm a champion. That was my moment. I was going to be the champion. I finally did what I said I was going to do. I won't be home until I'm a champion. So to think like he said exactly what he's going to do. He's not coming home to the champion, and the belt just slipped away from me that way. You can only imagine the emotion going through my family. My brother called me this morning and was like, yo, we've been preparing this for your whole life. Since your first street fight in school, from fighting those kids on the bus, from wrestling, it's all been to this moment. We trained for this. This is it. This is your moment. Go get it. And then for it to fall away that way, you got to feel like I'm hurting, but I can only imagine they hurting. Like I said, I know my wife is hurting. She motivates me every day. Those tough days, I come home from the training, limping in, I'm hurting, I'm beat up, and she just come rub my head and say, baby, it's okay. Keep working. It's almost there. Nobody works like you work. You got this, baby. It's almost there. The belt is yours. $1 million is ours. We got this. We are the champs. We got this. She give me a little note. I got the note right here in my pocket. She give me a note every fight. Keep me motivated. That's my baby. That's my wife. I do this for her and my kids. And to see this happen at the belt, we train for every day, and the belt slip away because of 3 seconds and an accidental headbutt, it hurts. Not just her, but it hurts me because the time I took away from my family for this, I got to do it again.
So Corey, would you like to follow up on the roller coaster of emotions? Seemed like earlier today you were really happy, relaxed. In my opinion, that's like a very dangerous fighter, a guy who's not stressing about the fight. He knows he's got it in the bag. After the fight was over, the ring girls were bringing the check with your name on it, and then they took it away. I mean, this must drive you crazy. I mean, are you settling down? Are you feeling normal again after? Because that must have been a crazy few minutes there, right?
I knew it was real when the check went back out the cage. I saw it came in. That's when I really got excited. Then I turned around and was walking down the stairs. But like I said, the money was never the motivation for me. The belts is what I want. I wanted 2 belts. I wanted to jump on the cage and hold those, slap those, point at my family, and run down and give it to my mom. Hug my wife with the Grand Prix belt, give the light heavyweight belt to my mom, let my family come down and pet that belt, take it to my son in the morning. But when they realized I wasn't going to get it, it all just went away that fast.
And from a technical standpoint, I mean, I apparently saw some holes in Nemkov's game from the way the fight was going up to that point. Can you predict a finish next time?
I mean, you saw what I did this time. I ain't gonna change it. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. I told y'all when I came to Bellator, the game plan. As my coach said, you can go back and train as you want. This film of what you do been out there for 8 years. If you couldn't got prepared enough to stop it this time, it ain't gonna be much different. It's gonna be that much better for me.
Thank you. Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
How's everybody doing tonight? Really good.
Aaron, congratulations. Another big win in San Jose. Can you just talk a little bit about how you feel after that performance and where you want to go next from here?
No, I feel really good. It was a good night for our team. I felt sharp in there. I saw everything. He didn't really land anything. But there's still some adjustments I need to make and get better, obviously. But I think I don't really know. I obviously want to fight ranked guys and inch my way closer to being world champion, and just keep improving like I am. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying training, and it's the best job I ever had.
I'd also be remiss if I don't ask your reaction to the title fight with AJ, and obviously this one was a big one and it didn't go his way.
Yeah, it was a close fight. They're both some of the best. I believe the best 145ers in the world. It's a close fight, but AJ's gonna be back. He really, really is, and he has so much talent. So I just talked to him right now. I said, just keep your head up, get back in the gym, and you know what you need to work on, and he's gonna be back for sure.
Aaron over here. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
How did Adley differ as an opponent, his game plan going in from what you expected?
I don't know. I think he's super, super tough. I was hitting him with some hard shots, and I could, like in my post-fight interview, I'm just very, very thankful that he took the fight. To fight me on less than a week's notice is the man has balls. So I hope Bellator signed him for a couple of fights, and I think he's going to do some damage in the division. But for me, I just stayed in the process and stuck to my game plan. I knew he was gonna come out with a lot of like up kicks and just look to land heavy shots. But I saw everything tonight, so it was good.
And you're still undefeated in San Jose. You moved to 6-1 in the state of California. I gotta ask, if it were up to you, would every single fight be here, or do you love the traveling part of the fight game?
I love California because all my family's here. It's easy. It's my home state. But wherever they want me to go, as long as I make my money, I'm good.
Hey, Aaron, you've spoken in Fight Week that what's next for you is sort of you're waiting for your time, obviously, with AJ. Now, how the night played out, is there any clear path forward from you from here?
We have to see where we go. I'm gonna talk to my manager Ali and go from there. Like, there's nothing I can really say right now. I just fought Edwards. Now it's 1-1 between Pitbull and AJ, so I'm assuming that they're gonna have a rematch. I just stay focused, keep getting better, and my time will come to be world champion. It really will. And when that time comes, I'll do it.
Kieran from Haymakers, congratulations on your win today, Aaron. We got Scott Coker on video earlier this week saying that you will be able to ride a horse into the Bellator cage in your next fight. Is that in the plans for you?
I think that would be fun. That would be really cool. I know some guys that have some really nice horses that would be able to walk out with a huge crowd. I don't know. Maybe one day, but I can make that happen for sure. There's some nice horses out there that are able to handle the pressure of being, because realistically you have to have a good horse to be able to handle the pressure with all those people. There's a lot of training that goes into it, but I know a few guys that have some horses that can do it. So if they want to, they'll let me. One day I'll do it. Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Aaron over here. I know this fight wasn't too much higher of a weight than you normally fight at, but every pound in the cage usually counts. So did it feel any different fighting at the contract weight, and what difference, if any, did it make for you?
And I was like, I need to make 146. I've been quite some, but my coaches said, no, trust me, you'll really love it to have the extra 4 pounds, and it was the best thing ever. The weight cut was like really easy. They always take a little bit of work, but this one was nice. Those extra 4 pounds really make a difference, and I felt good, really good.
Aaron over here. You both took this fight considerably late. Can you just speak about any last minute adjustments that you had to make?
Watch out for kicks and left. So we were pretty much ready for that. Nothing really changed. Just beware.
In your post fight with Big John McCarthy, you talked about starting out 4-3 and then finding a way to bounce back.
Yeah.
Can you speak about the moment that everything just started clicking for you?
I don't. There wasn't an exact moment. I just think that I surrounded myself with a really good team. All my coaches, a manager, and we just set out and came up with a really good plan. And the most important thing, I listen to them. I trust them. And I'm really enjoying the process. I don't really get distracted. I'm not, I really want to be the best fighter on the planet. I want to be a world champion. So I have a clear goal that I wake up every single day, and I know what I have to do. I trust my coaches, I trust my team, and my family's on board. So we're gonna get there.
Aaron over here. Obviously the story, I think, with this fight and the last couple have been your improvement, your build back, your comeback. You're looking better than ever. Do you feel like you've built yourself back to a point that your next fight should be, co-main event, main event, something on a poster, the Aaron Pico show, so to speak?
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be really cool, but that's above my pay grade, so I don't really know if they do it. I'll be ready for anything. I'll fight a co-main event, main event, prelims. I don't care. Like I said, as long as I have my check, I'm cool.
So your experience in Bellator, man, how would you describe it?
I love Bellator. I really do. I've been with them since I've been 17 years old. Scott Coker signed me when he just had the position. I just re-signed with Bellator, a multi-fight contract. They're my family. They treat me really, really good here. I'm really happy with everybody, the people behind the scenes, Scott Coker, Mike Hogan. They all treat me very, very well. I feel like they are my family. I've been with them since I've been 17. They allowed me to wrestle and do my thing, and then when they said when you're ready to fight, they obviously, I fought my first fight in Bellator. They're my family. I love them. I really do. They treat me good. So I'm really excited to grow Bellator and put on good performances because we have some of the best fighters in the world here, and I want to go out there and show it.
So if you had to describe your performance tonight in the ring in one word, what would that word be?
Dominant. Dominant.
Thank you.
Okay, so two parts. First part, I guess Kennedy was supposed to be your opponent, and he's ranked, and you're ranked above, and that didn't happen. And of course, they got Edwards, right? So, who's a guy who's outside the ranking. So, even though he gave you a tough fight, you could say there's no real benefit in fighting someone like that because it doesn't necessarily raise your profile. Did you consider waiting for another opponent?
That doesn't raise my profile, but it raises the numbers in my bank account, and that's what I'm happy about. So it doesn't matter. But you know what? I look at it like this: I got experience. I had to do another fight week, another weight cut, another walk. It all matters. It all counts, and everybody's keeping score. That's the way that I look at it. And I told my Ali, my manager, I said, I need to fight. I want to fight. Yeah. It doesn't matter who, if it's a guy off the street or wherever. I want to go in there and I want to feel the pressure. I want to do the weight cut because it's all the process and it's all going to lead me to be a great champion. I looked at it as an opportunity because one day I may be fighting and there's going to be a drop out of an opponent and I'm going to say, okay, no problem. I've been there, done that. So I look at it as a learning experience.
And would you say, as far as your in-cage performance, that you've become a more measured fighter as far as your decisions, your fight IQ, your as far as when you strike, when you go for submissions, and so on? Like it seems like you're less impulsive than when we first saw you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I've been knocked out. I've had some losses, and either you just, like they say, you either win or or you lose. You don't lose, you learn, and I really took that to heart. I just had to adjust. There's no like secret thing. People are like, oh, how'd you do it? I don't really know. I just was in the gym working. I want to get better. I knew that I really loved MMA, and just because I'm gonna have some bumps in the road, I'm not gonna just quit. But it goes back to being a wrestler. I think wrestling is the best sport in the world. I started wrestling when I was 4 years old. I was just telling the coaches, I had my first wrestling tournament, and I weighed 35 pounds. I've been wrestling all my life, and you win some big matches. I wrestled in the world championships. I've lost in the semifinals. I won a world championship. It's groomed me to be a good fighter and to go through the ups and downs, and that's why I think wrestling is the best sport to learn when you're going into MMA.
That concludes our time. Thank you, Aaron Pico.
Thanks, everybody.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
So Scott, obviously quite the night. Just can you talk a little bit about first Patricio Pitbull getting the title back?
I mean, listen, the judges saw the way they saw it, and he's the new champ. And as far as I'm concerned, he deserves it. I think there was a very close fight. It was a technical fight, and it's not my job to judge. It's for the judges and the State Athletic Commission to work on that or to work that out. And that's what happened. It's like that's what you saw. You saw the judges call the fight the way they did. I did think it was very close, and I was sitting around some of my friends and saying, "What do you think?" Half of them said AJ, half of them said Pitbull. It was very close.
Obviously, there'll be a lot to discuss, but I think people really want your thoughts on the co-main event and just what happens next for both Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson.
Well, I have to be very careful because I see Ali over here, so he's going to give me the stink eye. No, but you know what? It's unfortunate the way that fight ended. I was surprised. I didn't realize that his cut was so deep to the bone, because I was asking Andy Foster, well, what happened? There's only 3 or 4 seconds left. Why couldn't they finish the fight? And he said, no, the damage is too much, and we couldn't safely move forward. So they have the rule here where it has to go 3 rounds to have a decision. So there's no tournament champion. So what we're going to do is we're going to regroup. We're going to put that fight together in the next, I would say, 3-4 months, as soon as everybody's healthy and ready to go. Everybody get a good camp in, but we're definitely going to rerun that fight. And I'd say, probably sometime in the late summer, maybe.
When Corey was back here, he mentioned that Vadim had a broken orbital. Are you able to confirm that? Do you know if that's the case?
No, I'm not able to confirm that.
What's going on, Scott? So obviously, crazy ending to both a main and co-main event. But speaking of the co-main event, what's the protocol going forward when fights stop in not clear decisions? So to say a disqualification or something like that, really controversial. Does the $1 million check move on, or is it just going to be?
No, but that's a very good question. And when we laid out the rules, basically, you have to win the tournament to win the money, because the tournament prize is on top of the regular purses that they get paid. So both sides get paid their normal contract pay, and the $1 million is actually just the bonus check on top of the regular pay. So in order to win that money, you have to win the fight or be the champ. So there's no champ here pick. So it'll continue on, but we will give the $1 million check when we continue the tournament in sometime in, let's say, August or September.
Hey, Scott, I was just hoping you could maybe reflect on Corey Anderson's Bellator career so far. It seemed like many people had him as an underdog when he was brought in, and then such a performance tonight before that cut. I mean, what do you make of over time through the 4 fights he's had?
I'll tell you, he is dangerous. I've watched this guy, and when he first came into Bellator, he fought Yaz, I believe, was his first fight, and I said, this guy is dangerous, because I thought he was losing that fight in the first round, and then he came back and then took it to him and finished the fight. He's dangerous. I think what you saw today, he was, there was 1 round per athlete on the scorecards. They didn't judge the 3rd round, but I think the tide was starting to turn Corey's way, and unfortunately, the fight was stopped and there's no decision.
I'm also curious about AJ McKee and your thoughts on maybe his divided attention. He's done a lot of speaking about other athletes and very, very obviously confident, but do you think that maybe it worked against him a little bit tonight?
I think part of that is, just, some ring rust in what you see, because he hasn't fought in a while, right? And so, listen, he's a young kid. He'll go back, he'll train again, and he'll rebound. And was supposed to fight MVP. He was in Thailand training. He called us, said he's going to go home and he's going to take care of his family and get him situated. And then he went back to the Ukraine, and we thought he was going to go back to Thailand and train, but he called and said, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fight in the Ukraine. So we aren't in touch with him every day. He's, periodically he reaches out and sends us some just crazy videos that it's just unbelievable, the destruction that's been going on. And I wish him to be healthy and be safe, and when he's ready, we'll have him back. But the gentleman's on a mission. He is a fighter, man, and he's a true warrior, and I got to give my hat up to him.
And currently you have 2 Brazilian champions. I believe there's supposed to maybe at some point be a card in Russia. That's not happening anymore. Have you guys talked about maybe finally having a card in Brazil?
Yeah, so we have 3 Brazilian champions. We forgot about
Cyborg. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah, so we have 3 Brazilian champions, and I would say the answer is yes. We are in the process of finalizing a new distribution deal throughout Latin America, which will include Brazil. For next year, I believe that we will be there sometime in 23. This is something that was not knew, because if COVID didn't hit, I think I've said this before, if COVID didn't hit, we would already be there now. We would already, we identified Brazil obviously because of the champions that we have, the, you know, the fan base, and how popular MMA is there. We would already be in Brazil if it wasn't for COVID.
Hey Scott, AJ made so much of being undefeated. It's been a big part of his, persona and personality. How do you expect him to respond to this result?
Boy, I think you're going to find out in about 10 minutes, right? He's going to walk in here, and for me, I'm not sure. Listen, he's a nice kid. He's all these, these guys that fight at this level, they have a certain swagger about them. I'm sure he's going to feel a certain way about the decision, and you guys can have an honest conversation with him, and he can tell you how he feels. Okay.
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
AJ McKee will be joining us next.
Recording stopped.
We are now being joined by Team McKee.
Recording in progress.
AJ,
How y'all doing?
From the looks of it, it's safe to say that you do not agree with the judge's decision, popping the champagne. Can you just talk to me just where your head's at after that fight?
Back to the drawing board, man. I ain't, one setback, it ain't nothing to me. Obviously, being the best in the world, knowing I'm the best in the world, I've always felt you got to beat the champ. I don't think he did that. We saw the way I beat him. I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. My dad's always told me. He said, "Don't leave it to the judges." So at the end of the day, ball's in my court. That's my mistake, my mess up.
This was the first time you went into the 4th and 5th rounds. Can you kind of talk to me about what that was like, how different it was, what the feeling was like?
It was fine, I knew 4th and 5th round, I wanted to definitely dominate, secure a takedown, go back to the McKee Classics, and wrestle, man. That's what we do. We master wrestling. So.
Hey AJ, I'm curious. There was a deep guillotine that he had you in. Were you in trouble? Were you feeling? Yeah.
Nah, bro. I've been working on that. And if I'm ever in a choke, I told you I'm not tapping. I'm going to sleep.
Awesome.
So it was just really wrist control, hold the wrist, and just let his arms tire out. You see, 4th round, he came out shaking those arms. And arms was beat after that. So, yeah.
AJ, one of the judges scored the contest 49-46. Any thoughts on that?
Where were they at? I don't know. I got my own personal opinions. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you know, it's back to the drawing board. Shit, I want my rematch at 55s then. What's up?
Yeah.
Like I've been telling you, I'm done with 45s. Unless we getting some super fights going. I've been at 45s for years and years and years, cutting a lot of weight. I don't think people like to see what goes into it. It's a lot of work, not just for myself, for my team, for my family. Yeah, it's rough seeing me get down to 45s.
Yeah. Trilogies are some of the best parts of combat sports. Is that something that you're looking for next?
Sure, 55s. Why not?
What's up,
Faster,
AJ?
stronger, bigger. Yeah, I'm gonna unleash that beast, monster style, baby.
What's up, AJ? Could you possibly share the message your father relayed to you following the fight?
Nah, G14 classified.
And if the trilogy was not to be made in that scenario, would you entertain a match with Adam Boric or Aaron Pico?
Nah, I'm done with 45s. Super fights.
AJ, can you tell us what information you were getting in the corner during the fight and how that influenced your approach, and especially in the later rounds?
Just stay long. You know, at the end of the day, I knew he had to come to me. He didn't really want to close the distance. Every time he closed the distance, I knew the left hand was there. So it was just popping that head back, you know, snapping back a few times.
But you were told you were ahead?
I mean, I thought I was ahead. I could have sworn I outstruck him. Definitely out-wrestled him. I know for sure 4th and 5th round was mine in the bag. First round, I would have gave myself as well. I came out strong the first round, you know. That's 3.
And you talked a lot of coming into this fight about your position in Bellator, your contract, champions clause, no champions clause now. Where are you in terms of your future with Bellator?
If championship, I don't know. At this point, I'd have to sit down, go over some things and see where I'm at and what's next. I'm not quite sure, honestly.
So you said you wanted to go up to 155, and I assume you would fight for the belt there. Now, the champion does happen to be his brother. So does that give you any extra confidence going into that fight, knowing that you've beaten kind of a very close stylistic mirror to the 155-pound champion?
Well, the big brother's the little brother, but also the better brother. So, nah, man, it's different fight. Every fighter's different. Styles make fights. Yeah. I think there's a lot of action at 155. You got some great guys up there, great names, a lot of names I'd love to have under my radar. You got, let's see, Benson. That's always been a big name. You got Khabib's cousin. You got 55s is a nice division.
AJ over here. In the opening 2 rounds, you looked a little bit unamused, dropping your hands. Considering the first fight, did you expect you guys would engage more?
I was expecting him to come at me, definitely. I was dropping my hands to try to bait him, get him to come forward, you know, close that distance. Like I said, I knew he was going to be more cautious. But I don't know, dude.
First loss of your career. Can we just get a message to the mercenary tribe?
To the mercenary tribe, man. We wounded, but we ain't taken out. We still in this war. Best to believe it. Appreciate the support.
AJ, I know you've made it pretty clear 55 is kind of your plan here. A lot of times when we see fighters lose, though, it kind of eats at them that they have a loss on their record to a certain individual. Would you be okay with moving on from Pitbull, like, forever? Like, if he didn't want to move up?
I mean, dude, y'all saw the first fight. I starched him 3 times, literally, in 2 minutes. The second fight, I mean, I don't care. But yeah, 55s. Why not? I'll fight him again. I don't turn down fights. I love fighting.
Okay, AJ over here. In the first round, you said you wanted him to close the distance. He threw nothing but mostly kicks. What was your defense and your adjustment to his approach?
Check the kicks, you know. I checked a few of them, and then he started to stop throwing them. I knew he wanted to attack my legs to try to slow me down. Being able to move, create the angles, but
nah, we good with that.
Thank you.
Anytime. Appreciate
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
We are now welcomed by Patricio Pitbull.
Papai o quê? Papai o quê? Campeão?
9.
Campeão, diga.
All right, first question.
Patricio, congratulations on the victory. Can you talk about how that fight went according to your expectations? And were you confident that the judges were going to see it for you when it was over?
For sure. He was mistaking all his attacks, and I was in the middle of the cage all the time. Eu acertei ele. I hit him hard, and he put me down, and I take that guillotine. He said champion. Papai o quê?
Patricio.
That was a tough fight, but we get the victory.
Patricio, do you feel like you were being overlooked in this fight? I mean, everybody's talking about AJ's undefeated record, how the first fight went. I guess how disrespected at all, if any, did you feel coming into this fight?
Campeão.
You know, things like that is normal. We saw AJ McKee undefeated all this time, and it's okay. I don't care about that. But I knew I was coming here to take the victory, and we did that.
And obviously the first fight was quick. This one you spent 25 minutes in the cage with AJ McKee. How good is he?
His stuff is very good, but the Lion King is here.
He was in here a short while ago, and he said that he would be willing to, to do the trilogy with you, but he's going to have to fight at 155 from here on out. He said he's never going to fight at featherweight again. Would you move up to 155 to have a third fight with him?
What did he say?
Campeão.
I don't know. The featherweight division is my division. I fought in the lightweight because Michael Chandler, and my brother has the belt. I don't care about that division. If he wants to fight me again, he has to come to the featherweight. That's it.
And it's got to be in Brazil this time. No more fighting in California, his hometown.
Pitbull over here. Primeramente, parabéns, nuevo campeón.
Gracias.
This last fight with AJ was the first time you've tasted defeat since 2016. Can you just talk about how you handled that loss and how much of a motivation it was?
I got this.
Again? No, all good. So this last fight with AJ was the first time you had tasted defeat since 2016. Can you just talk about how you handled that loss and if it was motivation to get the win tonight?
MMA is a tough sport, but to be defeated, unfortunately, is normal, and I don't like it. Nobody like it, and just go home, train harder, smarter, and come back. That's it. focus.
Before the fight, I spoke with your brother. He predicted a 4th round TKO. That didn't happen tonight, but can you just speak how many times you've replayed this fight in your head?
I gave him a hard punch and he take me down. And I take a guillotine and he was slippery. Just a second.
Campeão!
Tereza, tem que pegar ele, leva ele lá pra fora. Vem aqui, papai. Pega a mamãe, Gabriel.
Eu quero chocolate.
Vá, só com a mamãe.
Mamãe, eu quero chocolate.
He wants chocolate. Eu queria chamar a atenção da Comissão Atlética, não só da Califórnia, mas também de toda a América. Não é a primeira vez que isso acontece comigo, eu sei que não é proposital. Uma vez eu lutei com o Corrales, ele estava com um gel no cabelo. E eu peguei de guilhotina, foi as únicas 2 vezes que eu perdi a guilhotina na minha vida. E ele estava com gel no cabelo e acabou escorregando. AJ McKee estava com muito creme no cabelo. Não foi proposital, eu sei que ele não é covarde, ele não precisa jogar sujo para lutar contra mim. Mas eu peço a vocês, juízes, comissões atléticas, que não permitam que os lutadores passem creme no cabelo. Porra, o cara começa a suar, a gente começa a se agarrar ali e acaba que atrapalhou. Ele roncou, meus corners disseram que ele, na TV, deu pra ver ele virando o olho, mas ele não bateu porque eu não consegui mais segurar o cara escorregando.
I want to bring attention to the commission about fighters that keep putting gel in their hair. I know they're not doing it on purpose. I don't believe he is that type of person, but this is the second time I've gotten a guillotine. The first one was Corrales. He had a lot of gel in his hair. And today, AJ McKee had a lot of gel in his hair. We know he knows it's not done with on purpose, but that thing was tight, and he was able to slip his head out. And he was very slippery because of that gel that he puts in his hair. And I want the California Commission to start paying attention to that. All commissions, really.
Patricio over here. So you said that you controlled the middle of the ring. What was your thoughts about him trying to bait you in and trying to get you to come on an attack?
I was expecting that. He has good abilities, but nothing that I was seeing in the gym, in my home.
The first 2 rounds, you really controlled it with leg kicks. Was that the plan coming into the fight?
In our first round, I was doing the same, but we don't have time to follow the strategy.
So, during the fight, there was a lot of attacks to the body from you, also leg kicks, as mentioned. I think the 4th round was a bit slower. Was the goal to like damage him, so to get a finish when he'll be maybe less mobile, less agile, and less able to get out of the way? Ok. O objetivo era dar chute na perna e atacar o corpo para ele ficar mais lento e você conseguir nocautear?
Nem tanto. Nem tanto. Eu lógico, treinei aquilo, mas não era a estratégia principal. Ele estava bloqueando muito, projetando muito com a cabeça. Acabou me abrindo aqui, me machucando aqui, abrindo aqui um corte. Então, o trabalho que eu tinha treinado mais, eu acabei não fazendo, eu acabei tendo que adaptar o jogo. E ele estava lá paradinho na minha frente com aquela perna magra. E eu acabei castigando um pouquinho para ele sentir um pouco de dor. Como eu disse que ia trazer para ele dor, não só física, mas também vou trazer dor mental. Não quero pisar em ninguém, mas ele tá nesse esporte para ser derrotado. Ele não vai. Eu sabia que eu ia ser o primeiro cara a dar a primeira derrota a ele. Então, dei dor física e dor mental.
It wasn't my principal strategy, but he was standing in front of me. He was hitting me to my head. I obviously got some bumps on my head, but that leg was sitting right there for me. So I wanted to not only hurt him physically, but I wanted to hurt him mentally. I always knew that I would be AJ McKee's first defeat, and now I am.
And I see you brought the typical hat of northeast of Brazil, which is, I believe, the same hat you may have worn when you first fought in Bellator in Connecticut years ago. And Scott Coker just said that he'd be very much willing to have a card in Brazil with all the Brazilian champions. Can you talk about the significance of bringing your hat today, and also the how you feel about possibility of headlining a card in Brazil?
That's the hat is it's from a brother of mine who passed away, and he's a real cowboy. In Brazil, we call it vaqueiro, and that title is for him. The extra motivation for me, and Santa Cruz is his name. The card in Brazil, it's a dream. I just won the third round against AJ McKee in Natal, my city. If it's possible, let's do that.
Hey, Patricio, you told us in Fight Week that even with winning this belt, there's still more that you want to accomplish. I'm curious what specific goals you still have in this sport and what potentially is next for you.
If Dana White has some balls, let's put champion against champion. That's my goal.
Cross promotion.
Hey, Pitbull, I was wondering what you could say about the man sitting beside you today, Captain, how he's helped you along through your career and helped you get to where you are today.
He's my friend. He helped me a lot. You know, he's American, and always when he can, he goes to Brazil and help not just me, but all my team. Everyone has to learning from his great guy. I'm happy has this man by my side.
Captain.
Don't cry, baby.
Yeah, Captain.
And all my team right there. Nobody's jealous, please.
And going into that fifth round, going into that decision after the fifth round, how confident were you that you did enough throughout the fight to secure the victory?
Yes. He committed a lot of mistake. He missed a lot of punches and kicks, and he took me down. And like I said, I made a great guillotine. I don't know. It was good, but I knew it was my victory.
And lastly, are you interested in going straight to the trilogy, or are you interested in welcoming an opponent such as Adam Boric or Aaron Pico for the title?
I don't care who is next. I'm going to kick all this ass.
Patricio, actually heading into the fifth round, did you feel like you were ahead and he needed a stoppage?
Yes, yes and no. That's why he at the beginning of the round he tried to put me down, right? Yeah, he take me down, and he was trying to win that round. That was tough. He's very good.
And your corner kept you updated in the fight. Did they tell you that you were ahead, or what was their information to you in terms of the scoring leading into the fifth round?
My brother and the whole team said, "Hey, that was tough, but we believe we won the fight." Sorry. My brother said, "Hey, he gonna try to put you down again. Be ready."
Yeah.
He said
And,
that.
And
I told him it was 2-2 going into last round, that he needs the spirit of Santa Cruz right now and keep the pressure on. I need the best round of your life. Rise like the phoenix.
Yeah. And he showed me the and showed me the hat. So
I brought the hat up to the cage to show him it.
and it worked, Eric. He responded the way you wanted him to.
Yes, it gave him the extra motivation going into that 5th round. Can we get Patricio Pitbull up here so we can get the first brothers in history? Pitbull brothers, the first brothers in history to have world titles together. Patricio, ven para acá. This is history. This is a historic night. Not only did we rewrite history, rewrited what was wrong. And now the Bellator GOAT is back. Look at this right here. Pitbull brothers. Pitbull. Pitbull. Come on, where's the brothers at?
hey, 12 years ago, we came to Bellator and the dream was, hey, let's become world champion together. And today it happened. Vem pra cá, vem dar um abraço aqui.
Todo mundo, Everton, Mano, Ford, Joinha, Miguel, Chicao. Everybody, Santa Cruz.
Deixa o irmão, deixa o irmão.
Fala, alô, fala, alô, fala.
Acabou.
Champ. Fala champ.
Fala, cara.
Fala champion. Champion.
And that concludes our time. Thank you so much.
Recording stopped.